Good morning. It is Monday, February 10th, and it is a short week here. Due to President's Day, we have Thursdays an in-service for teachers, Fridays off for everyone, and then next Monday's off for everyone. So I'm looking forward to this. It'll be very nice. We'll do like a little Valentine's Day celebration Wednesday. Wednesday's also an early out, so students will get out about an hour and a half early, and then teachers have like meetings the rest of the day. On Wednesday, we'll have a full day in service on Thursday. So it should be a good week. It should be a quick week. I feel much better than I did on Friday. So that's good. I'm still just like stuffed up. I'm just convinced I won't be able to actually breathe out of my nose until spring comes. But otherwise, I'm feeling much better. And I think it'll be nice knowing it's a short week this week, a 3-day week this week. And then with Monday off next week, it's a 4-day week. And actually, the following week will be a 3-day week for me because I have Friday off to go to Atlanta for the Share the Magic Foundation. So anyways, got 2 short weeks, 2 3-day weeks coming up. That's great. So anyways, let's get to it this week. I think I figured out finally how to get my mics that I use when I use my phone connected to my camera. And I really like these mics. So I think this is recording. So I think you can actually hear me. So I don't have to always just be holding the camera now. I'm going to be getting my morning slides pulled up and a couple fluency passages printed. We're gonna be switching up our schedules a tiny bit. So typically when they come in, I have them do their lunch choice and then get started on their daily math review. And then from there they can do unfinished work or whatever if they get done. But it's just been a big struggle lately of just the transition between getting their winter gear off because they have morning recess into coming in and being able to work independently. So I think I'm going to switch it so we'll do our morning meeting together, because normally it's gone that independent work, I guess you call it bell ringer work, morning meeting, a little bit of math facts, then our math lesson. So I feel like I'm just going to go morning meeting and then mix in the daily math review and math facts together. Hey, do this daily math review. When you finish math facts, then we can go into our math lesson. So we're going to make that change today. And then we're also adjusting the time that our grade level takes our morning break. We take our kids outside in the morning. We're going to move that by about 20 minutes. We're going to move it up in the day because, again, winter gear, some of them just, if it takes them longer, and then by the time they were getting down to reading groups, they were late, which is not ideal. So with that adjustment, I'm going to make that be a whole group fluency time. So it'll be probably 10 minutes in here where I'll have everyone. And I feel like we don't always specifically work on fluency. So, and I want to, we just don't always get to it. So I'm going to get that ready. And those are 2 changes we're going to make today. Actually, there's going to be 3. I also think right now we've been having a tough time following the expectations. It's constant reteaching. And from what I've heard, it's kind of been how this group has been since kindergarten. Every year it's a little bit better, but it's just always a lot of reteaching, redirecting. And but again, they missed preschool. They didn't get a lot of that due to the pandemic. So I think at the end of the day, when we come back from specials, I've always done my read aloud then, and I like that. They do really good during the read aloud, but I think I want to move the read aloud to right before lunch, and then that way that last, because by the time we get back in here, it's 15 minutes. I might just let that be a little free time for people who've earned it, and if they haven't, then we can just kind of discuss, hey, what needs to change for tomorrow, what went on today, and maybe that'll be a little bit of a motivator for them to think about what they need to be doing. So anyways, we'll see how that goes. I'm going to make those couple changes today and we'll go from there. But anyways, that's what I got going for today. We'll keep going on division for math and argumentative writing. And we did some of that actually on Thursday that I didn't show you talk about because I obviously just by the end of the day was not feeling good. So I'll show you today, promise. I am going to get the stuff up, print a few things, so I'll check in with you this afternoon. It is the end of the day of another indoor recess day like I predicted. I think every day will be indoors this week. It's just supposed to be so cold, but it was actually a good day. We had some good conversations this morning, just talking about some things that went down last week. I think the changes to our schedule helped us as well. But yeah, so let's chat about the day. Having them come, just make their lunch choice, come up to the carpet, worked well today. Again, we did have indoor recess, so they were like in here doing their indoor recess options. And then when the morning bell went off, I just had them circle up. Like normally they would go into doing their daily math and getting their morning work done. And I just had them come circle up. We did our like sharing part of our morning meeting. We played a game, and then we went off and got to work and then came back together for math. So that just seemed to be a good flow. Typically in the past, I have liked just having them come in and get started right away. But like I said, it's just kind of something that always seems to be a little bit of like redirecting and reteaching during that moment. So I think this will be better. So first day of it at least has been good. For math today, we did some more division word problems. In our curriculum, it was like games, like a game store. So sometimes they're buying, let's see, what's an example? Because it's been a little bit of like relating multiplication and division. So sometimes it's multiplication, sometimes it's division. Like today, someone was buying like a bouncy balls, 18 of them, and was going to split them up evenly among 3 friends. Another one was like, hey, they're going to the store to buy 3 bags of game board pieces to replace theirs at home. If there's 8 pieces in each bag, how many are they buying? So they had to decide whether it was division or multiplication, and then we solved those. And I think they're doing a good job at that. In their workbook, the hardest part for them was writing their own problem, like their own story problem. So this was the workbook page that went with the lesson today. And again, this one I liked because it was like related to what we did. So they had to decide if it was like what operation it was and then answer it. So one of them was, I'm just going off memory. I think it went subtraction and then division and then addition. And then they had to write their own using the equation 24 divided by 3, like write their own word problem. And that was the one that we had to kind of talk about the most. So I do see us writing our own story problems in the future. Like we'll keep doing that because I think that's, I don't know, just shows that they have an understanding of the operation and just kind of even what makes like how to decide what to do in a word problem. If they can make their own, they can probably read one and decide what they need to do, whether they're adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. So we'll be making some of our own word problems throughout this unit for sure. And using these fluency passages off and on throughout the year, but now that we switched up our schedule a little bit, I can make sure we for sure have 10 minutes each day to do it. So today we went through and we did some echo reading for the phrases, so I read them and they read them. And then with a partner, they each had a turn reading this. And then, like the passage, the story. And then throughout the week, there are questions that they will do about it as well. So it'll be good comprehension review along with good fluency practice. So we did work in some fluency today. We also did a ReadWorks article during our reading intervention time on LeBron James. And then I had mentioned this morning that we have FastBridge. And just out of curiosity, my team, we wanted to give them the assessment since we might be moving to that next year's, like our progress monitoring and whatever else. So we use it right now through the state because like our state's requiring us to do some different assessments on kids that we haven't done before and to like screen for dyslexia and whatnot. So which is awesome, but it's a different program than what we normally have. Like we've always done STAR testing through Renaissance Place, and now this is FastBridge, and apparently FastBridge has something similar to the STAR test we take. So we did it today. It took less time, which was nice, but we haven't really dug into the reports. It looks like STAR kind of, just by first glance, STAR has some better reporting, like being able to break it down by standard and showing you like where your class is, where it looks like on FastBridge so far, you get a lot of information for each kid, but you can't like see whole class stuff, if that makes sense. But we also have not looked at it very hard. That was us looking at it for like 2 minutes. So we did the reading one today. We'll do the math one tomorrow. So that was this afternoon. And then for our argumentative writing, this is what we did. This is what I was saying. I did something last week and then I didn't show it. So they did the day 3. So they read an article like this topic is about should kids have cell phones? Today's was the case against phones. The one last week was the case for it. So they read it, and it's kind of structured how I'm going to have them write their essays. And then they answered some questions like, what was the main argument of the article? What reasons did the author give supporting their argument? And then after reading the article, do you agree with the author's opinion? Why or why not? So just kind of getting them thinking about what side of the argument they would fall on, because now they've read from the perspective of somebody who thinks kids should have phones and somebody who thinks kids should not have phones. So they will end up making their own opinion tomorrow. So yeah, tomorrow I will have them think about, hey, you've read, and you can obviously have your own reasons too, but just based off what you've read, based off your own thoughts, do you think kids should have cell phones? Yes or no? And we'll do some brainstorming, and then we're going to start drafting our own introduction paragraphs tomorrow. So yeah, that's where that's going to lead us. And then out of my mind, I moved, and I did that at right before lunch. So that meant at the end of the day, there was a little bit of free time, and I did have a few kids that I had fill out like think sheets, like a reflection sheet of some behaviors, and then I had time to like talk about it. So I feel like that was a good time to be just able to sit down to discuss, because I want to end some of these things. Like your guys are getting close to being fourth graders. You don't need these reminders every day, so let's figure it out. So for being indoor recess day, it was a good day. So I hope we can keep this going, especially with all these indoor recess days in the future. And then also with it being like Valentine's, our Valentine celebration will be on Wednesday. So yeah, but that was the day. So it was pretty good. We mixed in a few just dances and stuff too, just to get some more movement out. So overall though, it was good. So I will catch you guys tomorrow and see you then. Goodbye. Good morning, guys. It is Tuesday, February 11th. And tell you what, if it was a short week every week, I guess then it wouldn't feel like a short week if that's what it was every week. But I think I'm just in a good mood knowing it's like 3 days with students, 4-day work week, long weekend. I feel like this is a perfect, like, little bit longer February break. So I'm not mad about it at all. But anyways, it is negative 20, like 5 right now with the wind chill. So it'll be indoors for sure again today. I am excited though because I did bring my coffee, which is great. But then my coworker, she texted saying, hey, I'm doing a coffee run. So it'll be a double coffee, which is great. It is my recess duty day, so I have noon duty, but also to be indoors, which isn't as bad for me then. But obviously I wish they could get outside, but when it's my day, I don't fully mind. I think this morning, these math lessons haven't been super long. Like the first couple when it was more hands-on stuff, they were, but these ones when we're just kind of going through and relating multiplication to division, like the word problems, there's not a ton of examples that we're doing like together before they're busting out into their like doing it on their own. So I think we might do a little Valentine's Day bingo this morning, math fact bingo. I have 2 high schoolers who are here, and I feel like my class would like to play with them while they're here because they're only here for the morning. So I feel like we'll do that this morning. And then we'll still do our math lesson, but we'll also do some math fact bingo. And then our second graders are doing their music performance today. So the ones for families is this afternoon, but they do like a rehearsal for the school in the morning. So we'll have that this morning, but that will just take place like of our reading intervention group. So we'll still have a pretty regular morning, and that should pretty much go right up to lunch for us. So it's kind of what it's looking like for the day. I'm just going to get my slides pulled up, my morning meeting slides pulled up, and then my math lesson slides, and then I'm going to print my bingo boards. But having that portable printer that Office Depot sent me is so nice because I'm probably just going to use that to print off the bingo boards so I don't have to go down and get them because I'm kind of lazy right now. And for the math fact bingo, we're going to do 10 frames. So like I'll do the first 10, like the 10 frames will pop up first. So it'll be like 4 10 frames, and they'll be empty. So I'll say how many 10 frames? They're going to say 4, and then if I'll click the button again, and then 6 dots will pop up. So it'll be how many in each frame? 6. So 4 times 6 is 24. I'll show you here. Okay, let me pull it up, and I'll show you. First, pop open this bad boy. Again, it doesn't even need to be plugged in, so I just slide it there, keep some paper down here, and we'll print off these bingo. I think I need 14 pieces of paper. All right, these are the bingo cards. I'm going to try just doing fit to paper, that way there's no border. Or maybe I just want the border so they're not cut off. I don't know, we're going to try it. All right, let's print. Moment of truth to see if it cuts it off. So I can always just cancel it after the first paper if it is, but I think it should be fine. Oh yeah, that looks good. Just a little bit on the edge. That will work. I really should just laminate these and keep them for next year. Maybe I'll add that to my to-do list, but we'll see. So the products are on the card, and then what I will do is I will display these slides, and you have to use the slide randomizer extension. Slide randomizer. Authorize. Okay. So these are the slides I'm going to use that will be up on the board, and you have to use the slide randomizer. Would you like to keep this as, yes, keep that as a title slide. That way I can hit present. Okay, so now it has it in a random order. This will stay the title slide, so I can start with there. And then when we're playing, when I click the first time, oh, why did it pop up with both? Well, I wanted it to show the 10 frames first and then the dots, but it's showing both right now, so I'll have to fix that, but which is fine. I'll just say, how many 10 frames? 2. How many in each one? 6. So how many altogether? 12. All right, so 2 times 6 equals 12. So that's what they'll do, and then if they have 12, they'll cover it up. So like this one, how many 10 frames? 7. How many in each one? 3. How many altogether? And I'll give them time to think about it. 21, so 7 times 3 is 21. And I just like the visualization of this because like they're familiar with 10 frames, and like for this one, for like 3 times 7, like this makes it so easy, like 5, 10, 15, count up, 17, 19, 21. And they do it in different ways, but I just like that it creates the visual. So that is what we will do today. So I will check in with you this afternoon. I also have an MTSS meeting after school today, so if I forget to check in, I'll do it tomorrow. But I'll check in with you at some time, let you know how the day went. So I'll see you then. Goodbye. All right, guys, it is the end of the day, and it was actually such a good day, like a fun day. And I feel like I haven't had many of those lately, so I'm excited. And again, I don't know if it's just because I know coming up to a short week or what the deal is, but yeah, it just overall was a good day. So this morning we did our fact family lesson. That was the next lesson in our book. So we talked about fact families, and then we did have time to play our multiplication Valentine's Day bingo. It was way too cold to go outside for our morning break or for morning recess, so we did a little bit of a break in here. And then, what did we? We did some just dances just to get some energy out, and then we went down to watch the second grade's music performance, which they did a great job at that. And then that went right to our lunch, so they went to lunch. We had indoor recess again, but they handled it well, and I had recess duty, so I was walking around and could pop in and check in on them. This afternoon, we did the FastBridge math assessment. After that, I gave them a little break just because they worked hard on that. From there, we did argumentative writing again, and I made this anchor chart, just parts of an introduction, and then I wrote an example on a different topic, and we identified the parts of my introduction paragraph, and then they did this sheet. So on the front side, I had them identify their thesis statement for whether they think kids should have cell phones, because now they've read examples and they've read some articles on why kids should and why they shouldn't. So they came up with their thesis statement, and then they brainstormed as many reasons as they could come up with on this side. And then I just had them do the top half. They didn't write their introduction, but I had them try to come up with their own hook, write their thesis statement, put their reasons into sentence format, and then restate their thesis statement. So again, they could use my example up there to see some ideas with how to word it, but they were doing it on a different topic. And this year, just like if I've tried to do something randomly like impulsive and fun and a little goofy, we've just had a really hard time coming back and be ready to learn, or we just take it too far, or we get too excited. So it's our 100th day of school, and I didn't do anything for it, which I didn't feel like I needed to, but they were working so good on their writing that there's this one of my kids that will always just like, when he's done, like random eye contact, makes funny faces, whatever. So while they were still working, he was finished, and I was like, hey, smile. So I took a picture of him, and I printed out 100 of him, and then while they were working and finishing up, I hid them around the room and tried to see if they could find all 100 of him once we were done and while they were eating their snacks. And they were successful. I had to help with a couple. I didn't hide them like under things or in anything, but there were a couple where they were a little tougher to see. So that was like my random thing, and they handled it well. They didn't get too goofy. None of them were like, how come it wasn't my picture? They just accepted like, hey, this is what's happening. Let's do it. So that was my impulsive, spur of the moment, 100th day activity. So, and then from there, we had snack, music, if I had, called it a day. So tomorrow is our last day before break, but I'm right now, especially for being 2 days in a row of indoor recess, and I know tomorrow will be too, it's actually been a great week. So I hope this continues and maybe can be the new norm, because it's been a good couple days actually. So anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let you know what we do for good old Valentine's Day, since that will be our celebration tomorrow. So, see you then. Good morning, guys. Bye. It is Wednesday, February 12th, and it is our last day before we get a little winter break, which would be nice for President's Day. Not, I guess, for President's Day. Monday's for President's Day, but just built some days on to a day we'll have off. Anyways, because we don't have like a full week spring break or anything. So, this is coming at a very good time. I am just going to print off my Valentine's. If you don't know the whole llama story, I had rented a llama. So I always do like a picture of a llama and then just make my own and print it. And then I bought, someone shared these on Instagram. They're like, like the invisible pens that they always try to get at like the Scholastic Book Fair. Like, so there's like the light at the end. So I'll give them each a pen and a Valentine. I figured they will get enough candy from the rest of their classmates, so I don't need to give them candy this year. So I also, let's see, we have an early out today, so they'll get out an hour and a half early, and then we have work time for our our reading training stuff. So, and then we have an in-service day tomorrow to work on all that. So anyways, I'll let you know how the day goes. I don't really have anything really planned. I'm going to do my Valentine's packet. A bunch of kids have their Valentine's boxes back here. So I'm going to do my Valentine packet today. And then this afternoon we'll pass out Valentine's. That'll be it. So I'll let you know how it goes. I'm going to get this stuff ready though. So see ya. And it is the end of the day. It's officially a long break. We have an in-service day tomorrow. But students have off Thursday, Friday, Monday. I have off Friday and Monday. So I'm super excited for that. The day, it went pretty good. Especially, it was another indoor recess day. Let's see. And this morning we did my Valentine's Day packet. So we started with the word search. We did the reading activity on like the history of Valentine's Day. We did the writing activity where they write a letter to someone or something that they love. A lot of them chose like a pet or a sport. Some did like a friend. So we did that. We did some fluency practice during our intervention time. And then in the afternoon, since we had an early out today, we had an adjusted schedule. So after recess, they pretty much went right to music and gym. And then when they came back, we passed out our Valentines. They had a couple pieces of candy. We had snack. By the time they had passed everything out and chilled for a little bit, cleaned up the room, and they went home. So it was a pretty chill day. Like, I didn't really do anything super Valentine's-y. Didn't really have much of a party other than them handing out their Valentines. So yeah, and then we had a work day, and most of it was spent working on the our redact stuff, but I did finish mine last night. I had to edit a few things in one of the modules, so I just went back and did that last night. And then I was kind of just on a roll and like focused, so I ended up finishing it. So after school today, I had a parent meeting. So I had, after school today I had a meeting, so that took up some of the time, but then I just kind of cleaned my desk up and that feels good. And tomorrow's work time on the redact stuff, so I will be able to kind of use that to like prep and stuff, which will be nice. But yeah, 3-day week, it was money. The second graders did bring me back. They came and silly stringed me. However, like silly string on white, it left some marks. I feel like it'll come out just fine. If it doesn't, like I told my class, I could tie dye this shirt or I could just leave it as is, because when those kids are in my class next year, if I wear this, they can remember that they silly stringed me and it stained my clothes. I got some blue over here, but yeah, so they got their revenge. So now I need to plan something to get them back. So that was just a good end of the week. So let me show you my desk because I'm kind of proud. It's very clean. My back counter has nothing like paper-wise on it. And look at my desk. Look at how clean this is. It's never this clean, so this feels good. It was necessary. Actually, the whole room's pretty clean. Over here, some cups I have to bring home. This is the Valentines and candy I got from kids today, so I'll bring that home. But otherwise, the room is nice and clean as well. So we cleaned up good before they packed up for a long weekend. So anyways, that's all I have for you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Goodbye.